Yeah, very happy with the professionalism of the group. Even having a lot of young faces out on the field, I thought that they handled their business and started with the right intensity from the start of the game. Obviously, these games can become tricky, as you've already seen the results in some of the other ones already tonight, with New England losing and then also DC in extra time right now. So credit to our players with a bunch of homegrown kids out there. When we put the lineup together and started to piece it together, you had a balance of some veterans out there, and credit to Harris for how well he handled tonight and led a young group. Uh, but even with the youth that was on the field, you looked at it, and every guy has played in and started meaningful minutes this year, with the exception of Derek, who came in at the end of a couple games to close them out. So we weren't nervous giving these guys an opportunity. It's something that we've preached now as a club. Whether you agree with it, whether you don't agree with it, we are committed to it, and I think that was clear tonight. You have all five of the Philly five. I think they've been named on the field tonight, contributing. We wanted them all to be out there together. It would have been nice, but Anthony picks up a cramp. Got to work on his fitness. But overall, though, a special night, and it's a special night because of the win, but it's also a special night to reflect back on the work that goes in from our U8s, the coaching staff there, the teachers in the school, from the U17 coach to the U19 coach, the commitment to Tommy Wilson, to Richie Graham, and everything that they do there. Ernie, myself, now giving them opportunities on the field. It's what we believe in. And again, there can be doubt with that, but we truly believe it, and we're showing it. So happy for the kids. This is our first real wave of a class that's coming through, and to have five of them out there tonight doing a great job was something that I think our entire academy, our first team, can be very proud of. So a good night overall.
The last few days, how nice is it just go out and beat somebody up?
Yeah, it's been a wild week. You know, I think we have a team that's playing well, really well. I won't let Atlanta and the negatives that happened in that game affect the group, and I think it's a credit to them how even the heart they showed in that game is something that was extraordinary. That one's in the past now. Do I still wish, and Tata wished it too, that game wound up 11-11, because I think it would have been a special game. I think our team was up for it. We'll never know the answer to that question now, so it's gone. There'll be whatever happens disciplinary-wise, we'll get the answers to that, and we'll move on from it. We know that we have a deep team. Ernie's constructed a very deep group. We have guys that we will go to on our bench, and we don't have much drop-off at all. And you saw that tonight. There's some pretty good goals out there tonight. I don't care what the opposition is. I don't care if it's Toronto or if it's Richmond. There was good soccer played tonight. So I'm happy with the guys and the intensity that they played with. Things will get ramped up now, and it sets up for Friday. But yeah, it was nice to put some goals in the back of the net. I think it's good for guys' confidence. If you look at our last stretch of 5-6 games, whatever it is now, we're playing very well. We're playing confident. We're fearless. We're attacking well. We're defending well. We're doing it with young guys. We're doing it with experienced guys. Guys are stepping up when they're called upon. So as a coach, that's what you put the work in with these guys in training, and the players, again, deserve all the credit when we get a result like tonight, because it's not as easy as it looks to just win a 5-0 game in these Open Cup games where maybe the crowd there's not as many people, and credit to the crowd, to be honest, because for whatever reason, us in this Open Cup tournament, it brings out, I think, fun moments for them. I think that they, in a lot of ways, are diehard fans that are here for these games, create special memories, and you can tell they're having a good time, maybe because our players can hear everything they say on the field. I think there was a crossbar challenge going on at halftime. I don't know what was happening, but overall, it was a special night. Our club takes this competition seriously, and we're 4 wins now away from lifting the trophy.
Jim, how nice was it to see both David and Jay find back to the net after kind of long scoring droughts?
Good. And again, with those guys, they're both very good players. Again, have they had some unlucky moments in their time here? For sure. But at the same time, David, I thought, was excellent. His work rate, his willingness to press, even when plays would break up for him, he was right there to win it back. So did everything that we asked of him, created a lot of dangerous chances, and it's good for him to hit the back of the net. Jay scored within a minute and a half of being in the game, so happy for him. He works his tail off in training. He's a true professional, guy that I I wanted to give more opportunities to, and I take the onus, and that one's my fault in a lot of ways. But Jay's a good player. I know that. Our players know that. Our staff knows that. And I'm trying to find more ways to get him opportunities. But Corey's playing well also. So that's part of the nature of pro sports. And Jay's handled it like a true professional, and put in a really good showing for us. So I'm happy for him.
Nick, front line.
You guys brought up Mishi for the game tonight.
Yeah.
What did you kind of think of why he earned this chance in his performance tonight?
Yeah, form. I think it's form a little bit. You see the kid coming. He comes in again. You guys don't see every day, so he comes into training with us periodically as well, and he holds his own, does well. He's a guy, again, a young player that we believe in. We want to give those types of guys opportunities. Was he nervous when he went in? I think he was, but once the game starts, you can see how fearless he is as a winger. He's a true winger in that when he sees the first man, he wants to go by him. He already is looking for the next guy to beat. So happy with how aggressive he was tonight. His preferred side is the left, but we wanted to just keep it simple and not change too much on the field. So did a really good job for us. Again, you can see his athleticism, jumping ability, had a couple decent looks in the box with the header. And his ability to go 1v1 is what excites us the most, and that's why he's here. And again, it is dangling a carrot out there now because guys see when you play well and you put work in, you get rewarded, and it works as a motivator. And I think that when Marcus Epps continues to play the way he does, it motivates Ilsinho. Fafa playing good, and David, they kind of motivate each other. We have a real good group of wingers now. I think CJ and you see with Corey, the things that brings out of each other. So competition's healthy. We have a good deep team, and that depth will be tested against Toronto this Friday, which in what is a very big game for a lot of reasons for us, a lot of reasons for them. So it sets up as a kind of a showdown on Friday where there is an end to this busy stretch in sight where we do get a break for the World Cup, and you always want to go into those types of breaks with a good taste in your mouth. And our team is playing in good form right now. I'm going all on some tangents right now, but I do think that the guys deserve that, and it does need to be said. Even before the Atlanta game, I reminded our guys in the locker room before the game in the pregame speech that we were actually the team in better form than Atlanta going into it. And again, the game got ruined. I'm going backwards.
How much did you like Derek's performance tonight? I know he's really been fighting for first team minutes.
Yeah, not a good performance from Derek. I thought he wasn't sharp. Didn't have his best night. I think he worked hard, but for what that game was, that game should be easy for Derek Jones with the quality and the talent that we see in him. So he was a little off. I think he worked through it. Credit to him for that. Made a couple nice moves to get out of trouble on the dribble, but out of your number 8, you want more, win the ball, get it to the next guy, and be clean with your passes. And I don't think it was his best performance. But I do know that he has the capability of raising his level as the game gets bigger. So he'll be up for discussion to start against Toronto for sure. He's a guy I still believe in. But if you really want to talk about his individual performance, I don't think he was his sharpest. As much talent as he has in him, I don't think it was his best night.
Did you want to comment, take the penalty?
David wanted to take the penalty. I'll leave it like that. So, and I think it's good that he hit the back of the net. I think it's good for confidence. I think it only will help things moving forward. I saw Harris again. With Harris, I've read different things from outside fans and different things about how unprofessional he was in that moment. There is not a player in this league that has the character and is as professional as Harris Madunjanine. So when you read things like he's being accused of spitting or forearming a referee in the chest, as the report says, that's completely false. He lost his mind, absolutely, as people do when they're competitive and want to win. He lost his mind for sure, and there's things that he could have handled better, but some of the things that he's being accused of just aren't true. And if you want to talk about a professional, look no further than tonight's performance on a night where he runs his tail off for the team. He leads a bunch of young guys on the field, so that one bothers me a bit.
When do you think you'll know? Because we often don't find out until 6 o'clock on Friday night.
You guys would be shocked. I didn't find out, so if I won't speak on our things, but I can speak with Ernie knows too. With the Fafa one, they buried that in a Friday night. I found out when you guys found out as recent, and then the next one with Chicago, and it's unfair to Panovich and it's unfair to me. we found out about the Mo Adams suspension, it was Mo Adams. I got an email at 12 a.m., 12 midnight the night before that he was out for the game, suspended on the list. And at 10 a.m., I believe it was, Ernie, right, we were told Mo Adams is playing. That's not just hard for me to prepare. That's hard for Panovich because he's probably gone the whole week. So again, it's like some things come quick and it's instant. Some take time, and I understand it's a hard job, but I probably don't. When you say when will you find out, I mean, yeah, the timeline is sometimes late, sometimes quick, but we have to do the best to prepare for Toronto, who's defending champs in our league.
Joe and then Adam, thanks. Jim, I know you mentioned Marcus a little bit earlier. It seems like the opportunity he's taken and he's playing with confidence. What do you see from your perspective on how he's kind of taken this opportunity and run with it these last couple of games?
Yeah, we see the same things, that we saw with Marcus from his start with the Philadelphia Union. Does he have a little more confidence now? Sure. Is he used to the league, used to his teammates? Is he used to our system? A little more, absolutely. So I think time, playing in big games, scoring goals, setting up goals, the defensive work he's doing now is at a really high level, and it's at a high intensity. I think he's shown now that he can be a dominant player in our league. I think his growth is, the things that excited us when we drafted him were just his ability to attack and go 1v1. But he's added so many things to his game. To watch him get better is something that I think the entire staff has enjoyed, and even the players around him. They get excited when he gets on the ball because he can make defenders look silly like he did tonight. So talented kid, has a nose for goal, has a pretty good way of finishing with both feet, just with curled balls to the back post. So, again, I'm not going to be quick to go too far, but his potential, it's up to him how far he wants to take things. But he has some special things.
Jim, you talked about the team played well, but did you think they played in the same sort of Union style that you want to see, that you see from the first team? Did you see a lot of continuity?
I thought so. I mean, listen, we still have a lot of guys out there that are going to, be starting against Toronto. So again, I think that, getting the goal early in these types of games settles it down a little bit. So I think that it kind of calmed things down. But when we made changes and we made subs, even with new fresh faces with Michi, when Corey comes out after a really good half just to save his legs, Jay goes in, and I thought everybody did the job well. I think that the system that we play, I thought was on display well tonight. Everybody passed and moved and wanted the ball. Were we perfect? No, but overall happy with everybody in the interchange. Maybe a couple moments where they had an opportunity against us, but for the most part, Johnny didn't have too much to do. So, yeah, overall, I think it was a good performance in terms of, a second group just going right in there. And it to my eyes, it does. It did look like the first group. There wasn't much drop-off. And then you still have, the key pieces like Harris out there. You have a Keegan who's played a lot of minutes, McKenzie recently, Jack Elliott. So, again, you start to go through, and everyone has contributed that was on the field. So, not much of a drop-off at all. It was good to see. Thanks.